Well, it says it's streaming, but nothing is out there yet. Do me a favor, pull up your phone and see if there's anything, unless there's a lag. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's up. All right, we're live.
Do me a favor, pull up your phone and see if there's anything.
Turn that down. Make sure we don't have an audio problem from the software here from the beginning and the get-go of the video. What's going on, Fernando? How you doing? So I've got my brother here in the office. We're just hanging out, going over some stuff. I was actually just telling him about you, that you're one of the viewers that is in a town near, that you're in the roofing trade, stuff like that. So he was over here, we had lunch, and then did some testing, just kind of messing around in the shop, and figured I'd do a real quick live, give anyone a chance and opportunity to chime in, help guide and shape the channel, so you get your thoughts and opinions based on some stuff I'm looking at testing here. So things I've never really even thought about over the years when it comes to like the nail zone. I've got it right here. And what I was going to do is I was showing him, because he's trying to do some YouTube stuff, I was showing him the YouTube OBS Studio with the GoPro, various things. So I'll take that. Even though there is a delay, I think I've got a little workaround with the GoPro delay on the audio. So basically, if I'm going to transition to the GoPro showing stuff in the shop or office area, I'll walk over that area. As long as I'm not pointing or making noise that you can see within the camera, I'll be showing the shingles briefly, what we just did here, and talking after I wait 3 seconds or so. So I think me talking will show what's in frame, and that should eliminate that issue. I also did come to the conclusion that yesterday when I was live, took the GoPro to the other shop, it froze. Had nothing to do with the GoPro being too far from my Wi-Fi network. What it was the Bluetooth GoPro app on my phone connected to the GoPro. I had my phone on the desk, walked out there, and it froze. So what we did is, while he was here, he was sitting at my desk in the OBS studio. I had my phone in my pocket, walked out there, and it worked clear across the other side of the building. So that's cool. Just a test, the Rambler. All right, so we'll give it a real quick minute, see if anyone chimes in. This will be a very short video. Just like I said, we're just in the shop, kind of testing around some ideas for some testing and video content. We're going to get into that real quick. What's up, Mob? If you were here on Hardy and Harvey, appreciate that. All right, we're going to have to... I'll call this person back. I don't know who it is, but I don't want to be taking and talking personal information. So... we are still open technically for another half hour, but I'll call it back here in a minute since we wrap this up. This will be a very short. Where are you at, Myob? Are you near Indiana or close in Indiana, close to Kokomo, or are you somewhere else? Let me ignore this here. All right, cool. It'll go over to voicemail. That's unlike me. I don't normally just ignore calls, but I don't want to be sitting here giving names and addresses and stuff and then people here on a live stream. Oh, California. What part of California? So when I usually do lives, I really don't know unless you guys let me know, but I don't know, one, most people that follow, I feel like a lot of people that follow on the lives are typically contractors that want to pick my brain, which is fine. I don't know if you're DIY or homeowners, just people seeking out roofing type stuff, but if you let me know what you want to see, try to help shape to, like I spoke briefly about in yesterday's live stream, was having kind of a topic for the live stream, and that's what we'll stay focused to. So there's some up-and-coming ones. A quick update to what I spoke about in last night's live was the Surefire local platform. They told me they would give me a call back last night to figure out what's going on. I never got a call back. I actually was on hold for over 30 minutes waiting to get through to somebody. Got ignored and hung up, but later did see an email that they said, oh yeah, we're going to cancel your last month. Well, that's cool and all, but you didn't address the second part to that, which was refunding the month you just took out of my account, when contractually, you guys failed to deliver everything you said. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to maybe make a video on that down the road, but that's just a brief update. They did credit me 1 month, not both I asked for. All right, we're going to head over here real quick, and we're going to just briefly talk about this, keep this a short live. I'll be right back in my screen to see any comments here in a minute. This will be short. Actually, I gotta switch the camera over here real quick to GoPro 7. Ah, technical difficulty. It's not even on. I gotta bring up the app and restart it here. Live stream, it's not connected.
Okay.
And no, I mean the video is live. If you're seeing a blank screen, it's because I switched the wrong camera. You can hear me. There it is, it's back. See, the GoPro actually connects with the app on the phone. I didn't realize it was not connected, so we're going to connect that real fast. It should come up. There we go. It's live. There's a delay. Server's connected. And we should be able to switch back over to that. So the workaround on the audio, what I was speaking about is basically when I get the GoPro 2, whatever it is I'm looking at, this pile of shingles, the audio you're hearing is about 3 seconds or so before the video is sent out over my network and then pushed to YouTube. So as long as I pause for 3 seconds while I'm filming what I'm looking at, you guys should not notice a difference from the audio and the video. So basically the top shingle on the far left is the Owens Corning duration. Then we have another black shingle where the notepad is. Then there's a few more shingles over here on the right side. What we were testing was the thickness, the weight, things like that. So I'll go over to the notepad here in just a second. We'll look at the different ratings and stuff here. So if you can see, we've got OC at the top at 3.1, then Tamco 3.36, Landmark 3.9, that's Landmark Pro, Dynasty 3.95, GAF HDZ 3.12. These are all pounds, so it's pound and then a point and then it's the ounces. So for example, go back up to OC at the top, 3 pounds and 1 ounce. Tamco 3 pounds, 3.6 ounces. Landmark Pro 3 pounds, 9 ounces, which is the heaviest so far. Dynasty 3 pounds, 9.5 ounces basically. The decimal point's off in the wrong spot. Down to Vista. Now Vista out of this category is the only one that is a polymer modified, but it is a mid-class, mid-grade shingle. So then some other things we were testing was like the nail zone, the nail strip, the width of that performance strip. So the NA on the right is not applicable. It's because some of these shingle brands don't have a performance nail strip to actually nail into. Then the common bond, we took a micrometer and we were checking the common bond of the shingle, I'm sorry, not the common bond, just the laminate of the shingle and the thickness of that. Now there's some variation because the thickness of the tar on the back of the shingle. But this is just some playing around we were actually doing in a test and deciding what to actually show in future videos. You can see on here the backside on the tar, so if you took a reading it could be off based on where you measured from, whether it hits the tar or not. But we were trying to actually just hit the area where it's one laminate thick, just this one shim or the wedge here, not the 2-part where it's double thick. And we're trying to keep the testing consistent. So if this got measured here, which it didn't, it would be measured in that same area on each shingle. So we're getting an average reading of the same spot. So where these were measured, where it was thick, the thickness of it, it was measured on the shingle we're testing, where it's just this one layer of asphalt and fiberglass, but in that same spot consistently from shingle to shingle. Just some different testing we were wanting to try, the micrometer, the weights, and basically the weight difference between the shingles, we divided out over the square area of the shingle. And it was such a minute amount of weight in asphalt. We were looking at it to kind of see in scale, on the scale we had, it's basically the equivalent of 1 drywall screw per square inch in weight is all that was, which really wasn't much. I mean, on average, you're talking on the low end to the high end, 9-ounce difference, so an average would be within 4 ounces either direction. It's not much. And that is usually, more than likely, the weight of the shingle is increased by the asphalt that's in the material. It could also be some of the granules, more granules pressed in. I really don't know without getting super scientific, but basically breaking it down. A lot of people say the Certainty is a heavier shingle, which it is. But what I want to point out is the weight, what they're saying is a heavier shingle is going to stay on the roof. I don't think that's necessarily the case at all. Because if the shingle does not stay nailed to the roof and it pops through easier based on the performance of the shingle's nail zone, the common bond, the performance strip, how well is it going to stay stuck and not break through the nail through the shingle itself. So that's one aspect to it. The weight, I think, has a more importance role on, is it 3 ounces more of asphalt per shingle in the shingle overall, which is going to have more life expectancy with the sun beating down on it. I don't know. There's just some things I've been thinking about and kind of wanting to test the differences of. And we're back. All right, there we go. We're back onto current audio on the live stream here. So I do apologize. I need to figure out a better way to deal with the lag there. Let's jump over to the comments real quick, see if there's anything new. Doesn't look like there's much. Punjabi firearms channel, DIY. Okay. Washington State, I need a new roof. I'm thinking about Malarkey Legacy shingles. What is your opinion on Malarkey? So Malarkey, I did a lot of Malarkey in 2020 and 2021. I've got nothing really bad to say about it at all. Had a lot of success with it. It is a, well, you said, what line by them? Legacy. So that's going to be a class 4 hail impact rated shingle. It's a good shingle. They have one of the widest nailing zones, which is like, I think that's one of the things we tested. If you don't mind, Rob, you would grab that paper and see what the nailing zone, the performance strip width was on the Malarkey. Well, no, that was an NA. It doesn't have one. But their common bond is the biggest. Their common bond was what on Malarkey Vista? Here, let me see it.
1.58.
1.58. Vista common bond. So the common bond, where the asphalt fiberglass mat crosses under the over part of the shingle, is the biggest in the industry. It's also a tapered shim, which isn't a big deal unless you're on a lower slope roof because the lateral water movement flows more. Overall, I think, honestly, this is just my opinion, any class 4 shingle is a little overrated. Unless you're going to live there a long time, you don't plan on selling the house right away, you're going to get a decent discount on your insurance premium. I personally probably wouldn't. Hail impacts on a shingle that is class 4 rated doesn't mean that it's going to not damage the shingle. It just means that it's not going to damage it as much as another shingle. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at the GoPro. Where it is still going to damage it. Manufacturers may not have to honor their warranty because it's damaged by hail. Insurance companies only giving you the discount because it's going to mitigate further damage. It's not going to allow water to seep through the shingle, possibly fracture the mat, get in, and have water intrusion. So, me personally, it's a little overrated for what you're getting. Is it a bad shingle? No. No, and honestly, if you go back a couple of videos just recently, it's probably the most recent video, not the live that I did. I did a shingle comparison of like 5 or 6 of the main brands mid-grade. Malarkey surprisingly did pretty good. It was like 50 pounds going off of memory, pull strength with 4 nails. That was like 3rd in the test. It was Titan took the lead. Owens Corning Duration was in 2nd. Then I think it was Malarkey Vista at 50-ish pounds, and then Dynasty surprisingly came in less than that. So it's not a bad shingle. I just think it's overrated. I mean, honestly, 2025, after dealing with Tamco and seeing the Titan line, I'm shifting into Titan, I think, completely this year. It's what I'm going to start working with. I've got my first one I'm going to be installing is a Tamco Titan shingle. I'm going to stand behind it personally. I say that because I've got one of the better known brands with supposedly the best warranty in the industry, and it's a joke. I've said this before, and I'll say it and say it again. They're not standing behind it. They're not honoring the warranty. I've had 2 reps out, and they're just like, oh, you got more time, just kick the can down the road. If it's that good, fix it, and they're not. So because of that, I can no longer ever recommend confidently to any customer of mine or not, anyone looking at getting a roof, stay away from GAF. Big marketing company. You're going to be living there for a while, you say? So what you can do is check with your contractor. Have they given you, I mean, are they pushing the class 4? Or is it something you asked for? That's one thing. If they're just pushing it, why? Ask why. Are they getting a bigger profit margin? So I'll be honest with you right now. So I can't say Malarkey because I have not priced Malarkey. So just think here for a minute. I'm going to be using Owens Corning Duration to Owens Corning Duration Flex or Storm. So their duration is Performance Nail Strip. The difference between the duration and their higher end SBS shingle is it's a class 4 versus a class 3. The class 4 is polymer modified. So pretty much anyone across the board, like me or a homeowner, can go to a box store and get Owens Corning Duration for, like right now in my area, Lowe's sells it for roughly $115 a square. Okay, so a square is a 10 foot by 10 foot, 100 square foot area. If you're going to go up to Storm or Flex, you're probably talking $160 per square, $150, $160 per square. So it's going to cost more. Here's the thing you want to ask yourself: is your contractor charging you an upsell that's heavily inflated over the cost of the material difference? Me personally, if somebody wants to upgrade to a higher shingle, I check with my supplier, I see the cost difference, that's all I charge. Unless there is physically more bundles and more material per square being installed. Because when you're going to load up, say, 5 bundles per square, 4 bundles per square instead of 3, there's more weight, there's more labor, it's taking more for the labor to get it up there. So in that case, it might be a little bit. But I personally have seen a lot of guys in the industry, they're massively inflating the cost. They're upselling and they're upselling. I mean, they're not just selling you a better product, they're selling you a better product at a highly inflated price, if that makes sense to you. So I can't say with Vista because I haven't priced Vista and Legacy or Windsor or Highlander. I've not done that shingle line since 2021. Hey, thanks, Rambler. Appreciate the tip there. Might have to stop and get a coffee a little later. See, there's not much going on in chat here. There's only any of you watching. I wanted this to be a short one. I'm wrapping up early today. I did want to just try to go live real quick, test the GoPro, and my thought about the audio delay there. Let me know if a few of you were watching the part where I took the GoPro over there, if the audio was severely lagged, or if you realized it was lagged. I tried to make sure I wasn't like pointing anything out while speaking because you would see the lag in the audio. Oh, I've not seen that before. Something new YouTube does. Let's celebrate the 3rd Super on the live stream. It must be because it's the 3rd one of 2025. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate it. I don't see how long I've been going, but I told my brother this is only going to be like 15 minutes. And it's a quarter after almost. So, yeah, I'm within 15 minutes. I'll give it just another minute or two. If anyone's got any questions, I'll give you a chance to type it up real quick, and then I'll probably wrap this one up just to keep it short. You still in, Fernando, if you're in here? Any shingle testing you guys want to see, let me know. I'll take some notes of it, and we'll try to do more testing of that. I do have some ideas. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I want to do a test with this JB Weld. I've got to make a little apparatus, a rig, and then get it bonded to 6 of the major brands. And what it's going to represent is the strength of the granules embedded in the asphalt. Are the granules going to pop off? How much force does it take to pop off? Are they embedded so great that it's actually going to pull the asphalt off of the mat? That's some stuff I want to test. Because one of the other big things in the industry is some shingle brands are known to actually have granules run off really bad. I'm not talking hitchhikers, and hitchhikers are basically the loose granules in the package from the manufacturer. You're carrying them, you're distributing them, moving them around, carrying them up on the roof. The loose granules, those are referred to as hitchhikers. After a roof is installed, you've blown it down, you've had a good soaking rain. From that point on till months and years down the road, some lose granules really bad. You see a discoloration. It's actually the black asphalt that's showing because the granules have come off. So that's going to kind of represent that test. And then also the repairability. So we're going to have to take a controlled environment. I did put this heater in, so my plan is to get it really roasting hot, bring a sample board in with several samples, let them bond down over a period of time. We're going to see that they are strong and try to simulate and replicate or show visually with a scale how much force it takes to break that tar strip. And then another test is the repairability. How hard is it to split them apart with a flat bar if you need to do a repair? That was my biggest hate with Tamco back in the day because they never stuck down. You could do a repair easy, but you don't want to do repair in the first place. And I was actually talking to some people. I'm considering going back. This is how much I believe now in the Tamco Titan line. I'm seriously thinking about going and removing or delisting those Tamco videos. To be fair, whoever it is, Tamco Titan is a new line that came out around 2020, 2021. Heritage is what I was speaking about. Heritage back then was junk. And I don't want people to see these videos that I've posted about roofs that have been installed 10, 20 years ago and have a decision right now and maybe not use a roof based on an old video of old installed roofs. The reason I hated and disliked Tamco so much is because back in 2008 to 2010, they had issues, big issues, trying to cut costs. Everything was going wrong with them. And then they actually said they changed things. They put all this money into the back end of their factories and they've changed it. Well, for 2 years, kept having issues. 2 years, the sales reps kept saying, oh, we fixed it. It's just old inventory. And you look at the package and you see the date. No, it's new. So at that point, like in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there is the last time we ever installed Tamco. And finally, they've had a whole new change in management, R&D, just a lot of it's changed, and they actually did develop something good. So that's why I want to talk about that briefly. That's why I'm proudly putting a little Tamco logo back here. They did figure some stuff out and actually did listen to people critiquing it. So here's another thing. Not that my channel's big. Some of the content I put out on their shingle, it made it to some pretty high ups, and they didn't take it like, shut this guy up, you know. Of course, they don't have any legal grounds necessarily to, but you see GAFs hitting people with cease and desist or slander, defamation, whatever the case may be, shut up, shut up, shut up, unless it's good. I want to be able to speak freely about it. They called me up and I'm like, great, are you an attorney? He chuckled. He's like, no. He's like, we want feedback from you guys. We're trying to really fix this. And to me, that means a lot. So I appreciate it. And shout out to you guys. If you watch this, you know who you are. I appreciate it. You guys really did figure out something good. So there's nothing new. No new comments coming in. We're going to wrap this one up here. I appreciate it. If you watch this later, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Give it a quick gentle tap with a thumbs up. Really, you can. This is your ability to shape the channel, whether it's a live video, commented later on a live video, or a made video and uploaded. You can comment below what you want to see. If I get enough interest in that, I'll take the time and make the video on that content. As always, until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one.